So guys, I was walking through a decorating store with my wife. We had stopped at one of her favorite decorating stores. I was a little bored, I have to be honest, just looking at the different things in the shop. They had neat things, but I was pretty bored. And then I went to this table and they had some of these. I was going, no way. Who would decorate with one of these? I mean, I was just wondering that. And it was pretty dusty. And I said, I have to have this because I love to talk about what Dr. Daniel Amen has talked about, and that is ants, automatic negative thoughts. This represents that beautifully. And I told the lady, I was so excited. She looked at me kind of funny. I said, I can't believe you have one of these like this. This is perfect. She's going, for what? And I said, for my counseling practice. I said, you're welcome. I don't think you guys, it looks pretty dusty. You guys haven't sold this. And she was laughing. I knew this lady because we had been there so often. She was excited to sell it to me. There was actually a set, but this was the best one that was this part of that. And the idea is that we have these automatic negative thoughts that just truly are automatic. One of them may find a little sugar in our brain, this negative thought about, I'm not good enough. That's a common one. Or they probably think this about me, and all these little negative thoughts. And once one finds sugar up there, that it thinks it's true, all of a sudden it invites a whole colony to come up. It invites all these other automatic negative thought friends to come up there. And all of a sudden you get flooded with all these ants in your brain. As you can see, this chisel, it chisels away at confidence, at happiness, even at relationships, because it begins to bring trust into question, whether it be trusting that God created you a certain way, or trusting that other people love you, or trusting that you're good enough at that one skill. It creates these big question marks. And what I love to tell families is look for these ants as they're coming in. And one ant killer that is amazing is gratitude. It's being able to be grateful for the skills and talents we've been given, what we've been given, and it's been proven through science and research that gratitude is truly an ant killer, an automatic negative thought killer. And so practicing that ability to have true gratitude, it's not just saying, I need to write thank you notes and then I'm going to be better. It's really truly experiencing gratitude throughout the day and allowing yourself to feel that. It's also being grateful if somebody shares something with you through empathy, experiencing gratitude for whatever they experienced. And that creates this growth of gratitude where it's a connected relational gratitude. And it really begins to form this humble heart. And humility is also another one that helps with killing these automatic negative thoughts. And so what I love to see kids do is grabbing those little ants and putting it down. If you notice one with your child, you go, oh no, there's an ant in your head. And they go, no. And that's when you can say, it's this thought that I just saw come up in your head. Let's grab it, let's put it down, let's stomp it down. And so little kids love doing that. And what some parents have done is they've bought the little plastic ants, and then they'll grab that little plastic ant and go, boop, let's drop it down and let's stomp on it. I noticed that you just said you stink at this one thing. Tell me the evidence. How do you know that you stink at it? And if you stink at it, can you actually grow? Can you get better at it? And at around 7, 8, 9 years old, it's known developmentally that kids get a flood of these. All of a sudden, they just rush up there. And this is when you'll hear your kids say, I'm stupid. I'm never going to be good at this. People hate me. Everyone hates me. I mean, you hear all these big negative conclusions that they're coming up with these ants that are coming in. What you want to do is help them look for the evidence, and also help them look at the expectation they have. So if they just started basketball and they're 8, and they're saying, man, I stink at it, but this was their first practice. Yeah, you probably do, but that's okay. That means you're going to get to practice and get better. There's this fixed mindset that they have there that all of a sudden they're supposed to be good at something. And that's common with 7, 8, 9-year-old competitive boys, that they just want to be immediately good at something because then they feel a sense of competence and worth, and I'm good and I'm belonging, and I'm gonna get admiration, and it gives them kind of some social status. Help them realign some of that. You're helping teach them how to get those deeper needs met in much healthier ways. And one of them is having a growth mindset. And a growth mindset is another way that you can help eliminate these ants. And that is telling yourself if you fail or you don't do as well at something, you go, oh, man, that gives me plenty of room to continue to grow. And those are the people that you see growing very, very well and have compassion on themselves along the way as they're learning those things. Those are the ones that you see that are driven to maybe learn guitar on their own or learn piano, an instrument. They see it as a growth mindset rather than, I need to be good right away at this, otherwise I stink at it. It's being able to know there's a long-term play. As a mom or dad, you may struggle with this. You may struggle with maybe shame or guilt. Maybe early on, you made some mistakes as a parent. Make sure you recognize those ants that have crawled up in there, maybe made a nest, and start to clean that nest up. Your kids need you all in. They don't need you parking in shame. There's no parking spots for that. And if there's guilt, just make that a drive-through type of deal, right? Take in what you need to feel guilty about and then just move on from there. Ask for forgiveness where you need to. But don't park in those very difficult places emotionally and psychologically. That's where ants just begin to flood. What you want to do is say, all right, I didn't do so well here, but what am I going to do differently now? How am I going to shift things around? What do I need to do in order to accomplish whatever goal that is? Maybe keep up with the house better. Maybe it's respond better to the kids. Maybe being more patient. Maybe it's being able to handle sibling conflicts better where you're not reacting and screaming or yelling. Make sure that you see parenting as a journey of small adjustments along the way. As you see these ants come up, either in yourself or in your kids, recognize them. Maybe draw a picture of an ant somewhere and write some of these common ants that you guys have in your house. And then commit to one another to recognize them, notice them, and to squish them. See, what God has given us is a wonderful piece of scripture in Philippians 4:8. And Philippians 4:8 says that we are to think on certain things that are true, that are trustworthy, that are of good reputation. All this whole list of things that he has said, think on these things, and it really lowers your anxiety. There are other things that he's talked about in Colossians 3, where he says to put on certain things and to let certain things happen, like let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Let the word of Christ dwell in your mind, in your spirit. There are these things that we put on and we let. And these are the things we don't want to have happen. And so as they show up, and they will probably every day, just recognize them, squish them, and bring a much more life-giving thought into the mix. Hey, I hope this has been practical for you, that you can use it right away, that you guys are able to find these, and that you are life-giving with one another in your home. If you enjoyed what you heard, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave some comments. I love to hear from you. I want some questions so we can dialogue back and forth. This is a conversation with you. See you again soon.